I had to turn on the mic. All right, we'll call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, everybody for the live stream to be better needs to make sure their mic is on.
The whole time or only when you talk? I want to
mean,
leave it on the whole time.
You're not going to remember to turn it on and off, so I'd turn it on the whole time.
Yeah, probably just turn on your.
I'd wait.
Wait.
All right. So has everyone had a chance to review the claims?
I'll make a motion to accept the claims as written.
Okay, motion by Bruce to accept the claims.
Second.
Second by Brent. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. Has everyone had a chance to review the June 26th work session minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the June 26th work session minutes.
Motion by Bruce to accept the June 26th work session minutes. Second by Cindy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
You should also have minutes from the May meeting, since we didn't have a June meeting.
Yeah. So, has everyone had a chance to review the May 13th minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Brent to accept the May 13 minutes.
Second.
Second by Dale. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to the public. If anyone has anything to bring before the board, please step up to the podium and state your business. It didn't turn on?
Turn on.
Okay. Mike, did you want to go ahead and?
Sure,
Okay.
I'm not trying to get in front. Okay, as waiting, you guys, board and a lot of people know, Bluebird Days is coming up here, August 22nd through August the 24th. Give you a brief rundown. Friday, we'll have the fish again, Molly's Dance Gallery. Then we're having blow-up balloons, blow-up, what do they call those?
Bounce
Bounce
house?
houses,
Okay.
yes, bounce houses. We have 4 of them coming in, and that will be from 5:30 to 8:30. Then we have the Wonder Band that evening. Saturday, we have the breakfast. We have the Waponi Wrestling Car Show. 9 to 11, we have the bounce houses again. And these are for 12 and under. We try to keep that down. We don't want you guys up there bouncing. Okay, the parade at noon. Okay, at 12, we have AMA has came aboard, and they're going to be here. We have 12. We got a guy coming in to show the kids how to make paper planes out of paper plates and other stuff. Okay. Also at 12 to 2:30, we have AMA. Simulator trailer,
Oh, cool.
and there'd be about 4 or 5 seats in there, and this is all free. Okay, and then we also at 2 o'clock, AMA will be giving a demonstration of one of the remote control helicopters, and that's in the ball field in the center. They're in the center, everybody else is outside, nobody gets close. We also probably will have a couple of drones that will demonstrate while they're there. The fun part, the parade at noon, Waponi Band at 1:15, start here and dance at 2, and of course the Kids Zone At 1 to 3, we have a foam machine, which Randy Reed, the fire department, is gonna, we got the foam, and they're gonna foam up an area in the Lions Club. That way kids can play in the foam. Okay. And then 3 o'clock, or 5 o'clock, we have open mic. 4 o'clock, Tenderloins. 5:45, Mountain Laurel Band at the Bluegrass. 6 o'clock, the Athletic League is having a waffle ball tournament over there. And probably using all 3 fields, and that's from 6 to 10.
Okay.
Then at 8 o'clock, we have the Remedy Band. Sunday, chicken noodle dinner at 11:30. Then we'll have Christian music throughout the afternoon from noon to 4 o'clock. I haven't got the details, what churches will be involved at what time. Then we will have the blow-ups again from 12 to 2. And from 2 to 4, we'll have the fire department doing their foam thing. And that foam thing, everybody's gonna get wet. If you go in there, the kids are gonna get wet, so we have to make sure parents know, bring a towel or what. I can't see nobody not getting wet. And if any of them went to the Minnetrista Center and saw that, what they had there, they've done it now twice. So it's, the only other thing we have going that we have, we are renting out spaces there in the street in Mount Martha for booth rentals. Ricky has a bunch of sheets we can pass out to everybody, and that's for that. We are going to set up a Goodwill for the kids area. Help pay is $1,500 we're paying for the 4 blow-ups for the 3 days, which is cheap. But the parents ought to be glad that we're doing this instead of having a carnival in, which comes in, takes all the money from the community, and we hardly ever get anything out of it. So this, we get some of that back. Then we will need help manning the blow-up area, so if somebody can take turns watching the brats, watching the kids, we appreciate it. That's about it. We know we got security coming up. Rick Clam is in charge of that. We know we're gonna have security all the way through at nighttime with all these booths there.
Okay.
We have about 7 food trucks, and food establishments right now at this time coming in.
I forgot to ask last night,
What's that?
are we doing bingo or anything like that?
No. No bingo.
And are you going to need Washington Street and South Street closed?
Yes.
What dates? I guess I know the days, but what dates are those?
Those are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
Yeah,
the 22nd through the 24th.
22nd through 24.
Washington Street and
Washington. So
Will anybody be setting up early?
then we'll start coming in probably the food truck stuff probably come in on Thursday. So we probably better make sure,
close it up the day before.
yeah.
Okay.
And we'll have the Queen contest also on Thursday, but it's gonna be inside, the way I understand it.
Okay. So do we have a motion to close South Street between Muncie and East Jackson and Washington Street between South Street and Union Street from the 21st through the 24th?
Question. There's gotta be an emergency lane through there.
Yes. Always.
So that needs in the motion.
Okay.
There's gotta be some way to get the emergency vehicles through. there.
Randy and I was always
Randy's,
set
I know
that.
Randy's on top of it, I just wanted it in the motion.
We have
Okay,
a little
and-
chart set up, which was.
Okay. So do we have a motion to close South Street and Washington Street and have an emergency lane available, accessible, for emergency vehicles on the 21st through the 24th.
Make a motion.
Motion by
Me or Dale?
Brent. Second by Dale. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
You have any other questions for us? I did get hold of
Thank you.
Parks,
Thank you.
or he finally got hold of me, I called him.
Thank you.
I don't think we have anything. Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Dale, did you want to go ahead and talk through your stuff? Go for it.
I don't think so.
It
No.
says it's not working,
It's
but over
tech-
here it's picking it up from somewhere, so
Technical difficulties.
it tells me it is at least.
The Okra project is now complete, so we have several items to finish up and close that project out. Finally got those all wrapped up today, so sorry I didn't give you much advance notice on the paperwork, but we've got a change order that is a deduct of $33,954. That is for funds that were unspent. Primarily, that comes from a utility allowance that we have for $25,000. We did not need to use the $25,000. We did end up using $4,000 of that in the retention area where we came across what could have been a septic line or some type of a line, so they had to work around that. Other than that, we had some lineal feet deductions and came to an overall savings of the $33,954. So I don't know if you want to approve these one at a time or.
Sure. Do I have a motion to approve this change order with a total deduction of $33,954?
So moved.
Motion by Brent,
Second.
second by Dell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
How does that work? We just don't pay it out?
Correct. And that'll come off of the final paperwork that Mike does when he zeroes everything out with the Okra grant.
Great.
Next thing I have is the final pay application. So included with the final pay application is a claim of $47,894.88. That includes everything that they are owed, taking out the change order amount of $33,000.
Okay. And this is the final invoice for Watson?
For Watson, yes.
For Watson, okay.
Yes.
So do we have a motion to approve the final invoice for Watson Excavating for $47,894.88?
So moved.
Motion by Brent,
Second.
second by Bruce. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
We have Commonwealth's final invoices. It's over two amounts. One is the lump sum amount of $5,000 and then a hourly rate amount of $27,592.84 for a total of $33,592.84, and that is our final invoice.
Okay. All right. Do we have a motion to, well, I guess I'll do separate invoices. So have a motion to approve invoice number 63685 for $5,000 for Commonwealth Engineering.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Cindy, second by Dale. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. And then, do I have a motion to approve invoice number 63686 for a total of $27,592.84 to Commonwealth Engineering?
So moved.
All right, motion by Brent, second by
Second.
Bruce. All those in favor?
Aye.
Then I have two forms that Mike Kleinpeter needs to close out the Okra count. By the way, he called me today and we talked, but he is, I think, in Nashville. His daughters are doing a national dance competition and won national.
Yeah.
So, just a little sidebar there. There is a certificate of accessibility and a final inspection project completion. I have signed both of these and will need Jensen to sign both of these.
So it's these two right here, this one and that one.
They should both be this.
Okay. These two. All right.
Yep.
I got you. All right. So we have a final inspection project completion form. To have a motion to approve me signing this. Have a
I'll
motion.
make a motion.
Motion by Cindy.
Second.
Second by Brent. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, and then we have a certificate of accessibility. Do have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Dale, second by Bruce. All those in favor? Any opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Tyler, wanna come up here and state your business before the board?
The summer league is over,
Okay.
thank God. We have a couple weeks off. Fall league will start the end of September and run through all of October. We'll have a Halloween tournament again in October. We hosted a softball tournament 2 Saturdays ago. And Saturday morning we had all that rain. I postponed everything back 4 hours. So I think I called Cindy to see if we needed to have the lights on a little bit later, which I think we ended up getting down there about 10:30, so it wasn't crazy. But we had almost 600 people there
Wow.
between Friday and Saturday. So I think that's the biggest that ball diamond's been in a long time, which I felt the wrath of that, you know. But the issues with the drainage, I have contacted Ball Field Renovations out of Indianapolis. That's all they do is specialize in ball fields. He came up and looked at it. And at first we thought that the drains were plugged, but the issue is no water is getting to the outfield, to the drains for them to run off into the drain. So everything just sits on the infield itself until it eventually, you know, soaks all the way in, and the ground's so wet underneath that it becomes an issue. So he gave me a price for $5,800. That's to scrape everything off the infields, put all new clay down, re-level everything so everything drains in the grass and not out in the dugouts and into the actual drains. So if you go in the drains now, all the infill conditioner that we put on there last fall, it's in the bottom of the drains.
Okay.
So that's the main issue. We could probably limp it by for a while, but just know that at some point, you know, something's gonna have to be done to, I think we paid $6 grand for that infill conditioner last fall, and I bet 80% of it's washed away down the drains and on the concrete, so.
Okay, when's your fall league start up?
End of September.
In September?
Yep.
Okay.
I think we'll be fine in the fall. It doesn't rain much in the fall.
Okay.
And we're gonna look for, we got a grant writer that's gonna write us some grants. We've been looking at some of these sports facility grants, and we're not-for-profit, so we're gonna try to find a way to do it, you know, without having any, you know, as far as the grants go. So I'm not up there asking for money. We're gonna try to figure it out before ourselves before we come to that, so.
Okay.
We will find a solution for it. Hopefully it doesn't cost anybody any money. That's my goal.
But we're still having the drains looked at by whatchamajigger, right? Just let down.
Do we need to?
I don't think you need to.
What
The way
about
that he talked, if we get everything, because I looked in the drains, they are 85% open, coming out of the ground, the pits are just full. And they're full of the infill conditioner.
Yeah.
And
which one was completely full?
the one I showed you yesterday was the one in the big field in the parking lot.
Right.
Right by the church. The one in the grass would be the south entrance, so the south walkway, it was almost full of gravel.
Because we were gonna have that dug out.
But he
Never
thinks,
got
once
done.
we get it drained right, all the water's gonna run to the drains like it should, and it'll circulate all the stuff, and it'll take it all away. Take it downstream, but we're just not getting enough volume in those pipes to move any particles, is the issue.
I think the one still needs dug out, or that doesn't go on.
I wouldn't pay the $700-800 to do it. I mean, we could pop the covers off and hand shovel that one out. Would take us probably 45 minutes.
It's up
I
to the,
wouldn't spend the money on doing that until we know because we're gonna suck it out and no water's even get to them anyway, so it's not,
Okay.
I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
my man's up to the board. I mean, I've got it set up with Muncie Sanitary, but
And Bart Keeson came and looked at them. I met him out there and he didn't, he had the same opinion that he don't think that that's the issue, that he just feels because they're dry. I mean, the only time that there's water coming is when we have a downpour and, everything is just flowing everywhere.
right.
Okay.
So,
All right, well, if you have an issue, come back to us.
I think I bought 40 bags of Diamond Dry and 40 bags of conditioner off Parker City Ball Diamonds that Saturday morning because I had 600 people coming, supposed to be there at 8 a.m. So we put that on there, that helped some, level out some of the low spots, but
Okay.
it's just finding them when it rains.
Okay.
So I guess the question is, you don't want Muncie
I would
Cemetery coming
rather
out?
you save that money if we need it for something else. 'Cause I
That
don't
works.
think it's gonna do any good.
That works for us.
Is that all right with you, Bruce?
Okay, I'll get hold of him tomorrow.
Okay, thanks for doing that, though.
No, no problem.
We are having the wiffle ball tournament, Bluebird Days. You'll see a flyer. I'm gonna hopefully post it before I leave for vacation on Thursday. That'll be for adults and kids, so we're gonna open up to everybody. We'll probably play Saturday, late Saturday evening into Saturday night. So people can play under the lights, and I think it'll be really cool. There'll be a lot of people, I think, who'll just come and watch, just because it's something different.
Yeah.
So we'll have the concession stand open, and also for the fall league, we're having a fall travel ball league, so it's separate from the normal individual. So anybody that has a travel ball team that wants to play is put their whole team in the league, that'll be going on as well. So hopefully we stay busy up there all fall.
Bless you.
I don't have anything else. Does you guys
Okay.
have something for me?
You have anything for Tyler?
Do you have your check?
I do not. I haven't even been home. I'll get it to you.
Okay.
One thing to another. Glad I can make it.
Thank you, Tyler.
And I'm not going home right now. I'm going back out. So.
I trust you.
And she will get you tomorrow.
All right, appreciate it, Tyler.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep. As soon as I get a chance.
All right, so moving to old business. So I actually got an email from Andrew Roselle, who's the engineer over the retail development project. And he is needing our approval to move forward with the easement. So that he has item approval and updated the verbiage to your liking, correct?
Yep.
So we're ready to move forward with that. I just need your approval to move forward with signing the easement.
And I did review that, probably didn't get a chance to see that email, but I did check that before I came and made sure that everything looked okay, so.
So, do you have a motion to approve the easement or any questions about the easement?
Did they move the well, or they just changed to where you couldn't be within 100 feet of it?
So the well is where it was originally. So
It's in the southwest corner of their property.
right, and so it goes, so that portion on that side where we'd have that drive,
Yeah.
it goes about a quarter of the way into that drive.
Okay. So now we're okay to drive through there? Or run any utilities through there?
As long as it's not within that circle, yes, we could run it on the west side of that.
Okay.
And you just can't put contaminants in that area, so.
What's
The-
a contaminant?
It lists them in this, I can tell you.
Is that pavement?
Nope.
Okay.
Let's see. Sewers, drains, privies, cesspools, septic tanks, or other potential sources of contamination.
Okay. be good.
I figured you might be okay with that, so
Yes, that's cool.
Thank you.
seemed okay to me.
All right, so do we have a motion
So moved.
to approve me to sign that? Okay, motion by Brent, second by Dale. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carried.
Thank you.
And I asked about a timeline for when they're going to look at opening things up, and he's going to get back to me. So I don't have an update on that right now. So moving to the South Street project, Cheyenne, have we received the final
I've
bill?
got nothing new.
All right, I'll follow up again. But otherwise, that project is completed.
And according to the accounts payable lady there, she says it's complete on her side too. So,
I don't think so. They're gonna be missing some money.
I don't know who needs to talk to who where, but
But we're okay.
I haven't seen it. Can't pay it if I don't see it.
Yeah. So we talked about the stormwater project. That is completed. And we don't approve the final invoices. So next thing is the ADA compliance RFP. Danielle, could you kind of speak to that?
Yeah, so Jensen and I talked yesterday. I had prepared the RFP, which is the request for proposal, to have companies come in and give us a proposal to update our ADA and Title VI compliance plan consistent with what Delaware County is in the middle of doing right now. I know I sent some people from my office here to come to your work session, so I don't know how in detail they got, but in case they didn't, back in 2012, when you guys did your last update, you combined forces with Delaware County and Yorktown, and each of those areas' plans was done as one whole project. So you have a requirement to update it, maintain it yearly, and then every 3 years to formally update the plan. Well, as I was going through and double checking all the statutory references last week, I found a small town exception, which I believe you guys qualify under. So what I can't answer is why you did not use the small town exception back then. I also haven't researched, I did not check to see if maybe that didn't exist back then. I'm guessing it did. But this may be why, because my recommendation is probably that you go ahead and formally update it. So the small town exception says that you don't have to go through the formal process, but you still have to do it all just informally. So you would still be required to maintain all of your buildings and facilities that you own. You'd still be required to update a plan yearly. You would still need to stay on top of it, act upon the list of things that need done, capital improvements for projects and things like that. So what doing this formally does is just make sure that you have dotted your I's and crossed your T's. So it is certainly money well spent. No one in here is trained to make sure something is ADA compliant and doesn't violate any federal laws. I am not. I can read you what the laws are, but I'm certainly not able to tell you if your door qualifies as ADA compliant. So I think after talking to Jensen, it's probably our recommendation, and I'll let him, speak for himself, but I don't think it's a bad idea, and it'd be money well spent to go ahead and do that formal process that we had already started for you guys. That is probably why you joined forces with Delaware County before, if I had to guess. But, I don't want to assume anything because I was not the council back then. So, to put it into perspective, the county has several facilities and properties that it owns that it has to maintain. You guys basically have town hall, police, fire department, and the Ball Diamonds. So you don't have a fraction of what the county has. And I think they were right around 60,200, an amount not to exceed. I told Jensen, and I forgot to double check that today, but I think your portion of even the bill back from 2012 was around the $5,000 to $8,000 mark, and I don't anticipate it to be much more than that, because the counties didn't even go up that significant from, 12, 13 years ago. So if you guys approve going ahead and allowing me to go through the formal process, I'll go ahead and get that RFP posted. And I guess if your decision is to keep it in-house and maintain it informally, we can take that approach, but I would just caution you with, none of us are expertise on ADA matters.
Well, when they did that back in 2012, 2013, they gave us what the size had to be. So we redid the entire police department. We did this, we did the doors. Only thing that was given to me by, I'm always trying to get her name wrong. Is it
Kylene?
Kylene? Yeah. She told me that she gave me a list, what I need to go look at. The only thing that I saw on there was the handicap. They need to have the handicap sign moved down here, not where it's at right now in the alleyway.
And what she's giving you is based on what she was able to find from the 2012 information. So,
Well, they then told me
yeah,
back in, and this was during COVID, a guy from, I can't think what his name is because we sent it all back in, but a guy from the state called and said that he's now in control of the ADA. I said, that's fine. He said, sorry, my
All right.
voice still goes in and out.
You're good.
So he said that if you can get this information, well, I got a hold of Marta and Hugh Smith. And they said they'll take it, goes, so I got a hold of the guy and we sent it all, everything down there, because I called him back. I said, you get all of our information, because we had to mail it out. It was a big package. Everything that we had inventoried, everything done. Now, the fire department, they said because that's not used for, quote, public use, that we didn't have to really have to do anything. But, I mean, if we do, then we do.
yeah, you can, that is the question, right? Is there the ability for the public to be there? What's your threshold going to be? That's the same with like emergency management for the county. Well, they hold some meetings down there and they do some things down there, so we are considering that on our list. So the town has to make, once you get the report from, whether it's American Structure Point or, whoever ends up putting a proposal in to do this, then we would look at whether we consider that qualified, and that's the exact question we'll have to answer is, do we think the fire department has to comply based on whether or not the public is ever at that space? So like if you allowed trick-or-treating at the fire department, that's something you need to consider. It's things you don't really think about that,
The only thing that I know they do, and Randy can,
So they have a chili supper every year.
yeah, the
Open to
chili
the public.
supper.
then I would
Plenty of people.
100% put it on your list. You don't want to take a chance.
My thought is we move forward with the formal process. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there is some funding that is tied to having a formal plan.
Yes, so what we looked at in, what we're dealing with the county, which you don't have this present issue, is your federal funding is tied to ADA compliance in your Title VI. So when I looked at this, you guys aren't in jeopardy of any federal funding being frozen right now. So you've got some time to get this in place and get it all worked out, but your federal funding is tied to your ADA compliance and your Title VI compliance.
Okay, so, I I guess, do we have a motion to move forward with a formal RFP and the formal process, or would we rather manage this in-house?
No, pay somebody. I'll make the motion.
All right,
Yeah, there's
motion by Brent,
Second.
second by Cindy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
One question on that, so we do have to designate, you were designated as the contact person for the town in the last one. Do you want to stay that contact person? We have to list someone in our plan.
So you want me to be the ADA coordinator?
I
Well, I
don't
mean,
care,
you-
I'm just asking, do you wanna maintain that? Does someone else wanna do that? I just need to know who's gonna be the contact person.
What is that person's function?
I can,
Bruce has done it in the past.
Staying on top of it, making sure that each year we are maintaining.
well, I gave it up, but I'll do it.
Okay.
If there's, who's over buildings? Aren't they separated?
Yeah, who is that, or you?
Partly.
Okay.
You're in the building, aren't you?
Well,
You
Was
can
it
take all
separated?
by now,
I vote for you to, I nominate.
I already wrote you down.
So it makes sense whoever's in charge of buildings to maybe,
Over buildings.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
oh shoot.
I'll
Should've
try
got up
to
and
forget
checked.
that one.
Oh, I say that because yearly, the person that's maintaining the buildings is also the one that can be checking off the plan and then, sending information as we need updates or keeping an eye on things. That's typically who I would recommend take a look at it, but I don't get a vote, so.
Okay. Bruce, you okay with handling that?
I don't care, but, just like anything else, I'll be coming to you about spending money. That's the only thing,
Yeah, sure.
And we'll tell you now.
That's fine. But, yeah, I mean, they always told me with the ADA coordinator, they wanted somebody that's not, like on the board, they'd rather have somebody that's not,
Do you have that person, though, that,
well, I
they
mean,
don't have to be on the board. I brought you up because you are listed as the current one.
When
Kylene
Jennifer
pulled the
hired me,
information.
part of my job title is ADA something, and I've never done anything with it, so maybe that was the whole point.
Brandon did it. And
Yeah.
Brandon left. And so when I hired Cheyenne.
But the thing of it is, we never get nothing. We
You
get
can
nothing.
beat it.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, Kylene so the HR director is kind of supposed to take that on, but Kylene is kind of gonna be our contact person for the county. She's not a commissioner.
okay,
So it doesn't have to be Bruce. In the records we had, he was the last contact listed in what we could find, so that's the only reason I
You are Title VI?
And that's always been our.
could be.
The
What?
Title VI person.
So
Okay.
do you,
I can do the ADA, yeah,
So you want to do the ADA?
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's already part of my job title, I just never did anything with it because we didn't know what
Well,
to do with it.
They quit
Read
sending
to mark it
stuff.
out.
That's, we haven't got anything,
Yeah,
so
that's a problem.
that makes
Nobody
sense.
never they would never send us none. So how do you know this is going on unless somebody tells you about it?
So the next step, you're going to put
I've already got the documents prepared, so
Okay.
I just need to publish them. We'll have to have two public hearings. I think based on the amount of people that will probably show up, this building is sufficient. I mean, unless you start getting wind that people have concerns about things not being compliant in the town of Selma owned property locations. So I'll get all that set up and I'll just keep you guys updated by email on when we get it published, and your next meeting will probably be your first meeting, and then the next one can be the next one. I mean,
perfect.
it's not
Okay.
a real formal process, so to say.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Next thing on the agenda is the economic development plan. Just wanted to touch on that. So I did speak with Mike Kleinpeter earlier today. he says the next steps that, for applying for this grant is we need to put an ad in the paper, to partner with a firm, to help us with this economic development plan. So, he's gonna probably submit that sometime in August. Cause he said that there's a window that you have to submit it in, so he said August would probably be better, timing wise. And one thing he did want me to highlight in this meeting is we are going to need at least a 3-person, council board, to, basically to help decide which firm we move forward with for this process. So it can be 2 council members, and then we need 1 resident, to be on that. So we just need to think about that. But no reason to make a decision today. Next thing on here is the church parking lot.
I did get the affidavit drafted. I just need to get it over to the church now. We've just had a busy couple of weeks. So I'll get that over with the draft of the interlocal so we can get all that finally done.
Okay. So the next thing on here is town entry sign. Have you explored anything? I know that sign you showed a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, well, we have 2 bids. One was
Okay.
through Advanced Sign, and it was $10,000 per sign, and then the other one through, yeah, that left me.
I can't think of it either.
Hold, please.
Ace.
Oh, is that metal? It's
Versatile Metal,
yeah.
for $4,000 apiece. We would have to install it, at $4,000 apiece. And that's for a 10-foot by 7-foot 6 inches. And then if we get sponsorships, we can put the sign at the bottom.
Okay.
So it'd be a total of $8,000 for both signs.
Okay.
But we were looking into the appropriation to be able to spend that. So, I don't know where we are.
Do you want me to talk about that?
Sure. It's on down, so we can talk about it now.
It's up to you.
Do it.
I printed something to even tell you about that. So on the appropriation, you guys did an appropriation last year too. So it would be treated just the same as you did that, where you have to have your public hearing, you have to approve an ordinance. You can do the appropriation, and I did talk to John a little bit about it too, because all of our entities do it differently. So you can do your appropriation once you get to the place where you know you need to do an additional appropriation in that fund, or if you anticipate that you know you're going to need it, you could go ahead and do your appropriation now. And those are the 2 things I was kind of talking to you about yesterday, and he said his clients do it both ways as well. So it really would be your guys' call if you wanted to go ahead and appropriate, you know,
I will
all.
tell you that my DLGF representative said I have to do it first before I can spend it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, I agree with that. You have to appropriate it before you spend it. I just meant as far as like if you had, you know, 10,000 left in one line item that you hadn't spent, you could wait till you spend down that line item and then say, okay, we need to appropriate more money there. Or if you know you're getting ready to spend 50,000, that's gonna affect that fund line item in the next couple of months, you can go ahead and appropriate that whole amount knowing that it's coming.
Okay.
And
But there's
this
a
year.
time frame we have to spend that in.
But you cannot do appropriations in December. That's the only, you just have to get it done before December.
Okay.
It has to be published.
Okay.
So if you're gonna do it before the end of the year, you know, sooner is probably better, just to give us time to get the ordinance drafted and do your
Okay.
hearing and publish it and do all the things that are needed.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna wanna move forward with that. Do you need a motion to get that started?
No, I can go ahead and get it started. I'll just need the information of, what all is happening. Where's it, what money
What's
is
gonna be used
going
for.
into it, what the
Okay.
appropriation is, and like what fund it's coming from, and,
And you have to have the money there. So the fund report has to have the money to put it into the appropriation report,
Okay,
okay?
okay. All right, is that everything on,
and so,
My surgery, I don't know that I'll be any help at all.
yeah. You and Cheyenne, whoever's got that information can get with me and just tell me
okay,
what the amount is, where it's coming from, fund number wise, the fund name, and all of that, and then I can draft what I need to draft from that.
okay, sounds good. I have the lift truck on here. Cody,
I haven't heard from anybody. I've called a couple different people and I haven't got a call back from them.
okay.
Why are we still,
But
I say
Yeah.
we just accept bids,
yeah,
give it a certain amount of time and be done.
start them out and then
can
that's
that be
it.
put on Facebook?
We've been messing with this for way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a pain in the butt.
Can that just be put on Facebook and accepting bids at X amount to X amount?
sure. That's what the board decides to do.
Put it on our town page, is that what you're saying?
Is,
That's what Parker did, but they had a dump truck just a couple months ago. They put it on their page and was accepting bids from this day to this day, and then they'd let them know at the next town meeting.
Yeah, they put on there a certain time of day, you come look at it,
Yep.
check it out, and then within 24 hours of that day, you check it out, you had to put it in bid.
okay. All right, so,
I would say that'd be a real fast way to get rid of this thing.
all right, so,
And it wouldn't cost us any money for an auctioneer or an auction place or nothing, not even.
Start out with, new batteries.
well,
It
what,
might start, I don't, it did last time.
Starts,
It started.
To me, it's as is. Move.
all right, so do we have a motion to move forward with posting this
I'll
thing
make a
online?
motion.
How much do we want to post it for?
How much everybody feel comfortable starting that way?
I have no idea. I have none.
I
Cody?
told them to ask you.
Huh?
I told them to ask you.
Yeah, I don't do bucket trucks.
I just put it as sealed bids and take the highest bid.
I'm good with that.
Okay,
Yeah, you guys figure it out.
all right,
You guys that want the darn thing, buy it.
So
Get it
no
out of
minimum
here.
bid, just put a bid in and we'll take whatever the highest one is.
Highest bid.
You got 3 days to get it off our property.
3.
all right, so, do we have a motion to post the truck on our Facebook page with sealed bids, accepting sealed bids?
I make a motion.
Okay, motion by Cindy, second by
Brenda Bruce?
Bruce. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No, I'm unopposed.
Okay.
Open the bids.
Good, because you
next meeting.
seconded that motion.
While we're,
I will
I'll
need
motion.
somebody to get me the info, because I don't know anything about that
I'll get
truck.
it to you.
I have
Uh,
files.
Jump.
You wanna open the bids next meeting?
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
While we're talking about that, that title, the SRO clerk also title, they're made out to the town of Selma. Who signs that
Jensen.
as president? And then should we do something that says they have so many days to get it in their name?
You can.
'Cause
Well, Indiana has a law that if you sell a car and you sign your name on the title, you're still not, you're still obligated about that car until they put it in their name.
I, not to interrupt,
No, oh, yeah,
I will say,
I just sold
yeah.
my husband's Corvette. My insurance agent suggested that I go online. It's like it's automatic something or whatever, auto something, whatever. And I just went online and you have one free time before you have to sign up. And you just put all the information in, the VIN number, the whole 9 yards. Because once you buy a car, the person has 45 days to get that title transferred over. In the meantime, the 45 days, you're still responsible for that. But if you have them sign this, then you have, if something happens or something comes up, you can present this documentation and it goes to the person that signed, you know, that they bought it. And I can
There
get
you
that
go.
information.
Well, I do know the superintendent has emailed me asking about it, so like, they're ready to have the title. I don't think they'll take
Well,
45 days.
superintendent needs to adhere to the letter that we sent, because we asked for the card to be brought back, for the Selma logo to be removed and the radio. So as far as I know, that has not happened.
So are we not signing the title until they do that?
Not till it's, not till they meet the thing, I
Okay.
wouldn't.
Right. Yeah,
Well,
we sent a clear letter, and it specifies what we're looking for, so.
We couldn't do it on the fire trucks. We had to have it, taken off.
Want her to respond to him that,
I'm just gonna tell him we can't sign the title until he
Yep.
follows what the letter says.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you want me to
Because
get
he
that-
said the board agreed to the letter, so if
Okay,
they agreed
perfect.
to it.
Yeah.
I can get that information to her. It's really easy. You just
And it
go
may
online.
be a matter of see if he needs to set up a time to bring it back for that to be done. Maybe
Yeah.
he's looking to coordinate that
Yeah.
with someone and get him in contact with someone to coordinate it with.
And then moving on to the bees. So
Are they still there?
they're still there.
Okay.
So Dale had recommended
The pest
that.
control company didn't get rid of them?
Well, so Dale had recommended a buddy of his, and he was going to go and remove them without going through Orkin and killing them, but his schedule won't allow him to make it up here. So I think we already made a motion to move forward with Orkin. So we'll just go ahead and move forward with contacting them and have them take care of the issue.
Okay.
They'll let you spray it. They always said they wouldn't spray them. And they're not allowed to spray bees.
They're going to spray it.
Orkin says they will.
Is that American Pest?
Either that or we can burn the building down.
But
Be a lot of honey in there.
Let's not do that.
That was a joke. For legal purposes.
Thank you.
They got real this month.
So, any other old business, Dale? All right, Bruce.
No. No. I haven't been here for a long time, so there ain't gonna be too much old business.
All right. Cindy,
No.
Brent.
No.
All right. Moving to new business. I put the ball diamonds on there about the drainage. We already covered that. I put the additional appropriation on there. Covered that. Wanted to discuss the potentially, looking into bonds, either through the TIF or other bonds that we can issue to help us raise funds for projects within Selma. Speaking with Danielle yesterday, she has a contact at Baker Tilly that she is willing to put us in contact with, just to review our options and see what we can do to help us raise additional funds to complete some of these other projects we're wanting to get done within the town. Did you have anything to add to
No,
that?
I did talk to Matt today, and I'm gonna be circulating some calendar dates to try to get that set up, so.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Next thing I have in here is Muncie Youth Build. Did you have a chance to?
She
reach out?
did text me back. She said, "Thank you for reaching out. I'm unaware of who Jensen is." But I'll be happy to talk with you about Muncie Youth Build. Do you have any specific questions? So is there something that is there something that I'm supposed to be, we're wanting to help you? Or,
So they work on some historical buildings and have worked on facades,
Okay.
repairing those. So I was curious to see what that looked like and what the cost was for that and how that program worked through them.
okay,
It sounds like you need a meeting, like a work detail, ever come to it or something.
Yeah.
you want that?
Yeah. Do you want to schedule a meeting
I can call,
to come
well, I
here?
got a phone number now.
Okay,
I'd email her.
okay.
We got caught up in holiday stuff, so she didn't get back with me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you could get something scheduled, and then we can just, see what that program looks like, that'd be awesome. And that way they can
Like I
also
said,
take a look.
when you plan on doing one? Another meeting, or you just,
It could be an informal meeting where we just set up a time,
Okay.
couple board members meet with her and explore the program.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Dale, any new business?
No.
Bruce,
What, building commissioner? Oh,
new business.
well, no.
Okay.
No.
All right. And Danielle, we're back to you.
Okay, I said before we started, but just to kind of put it on the record too, really push our new YouTube page and get friends and family to subscribe to it. And then I'll touch base, and Cheyenne will touch base here in a couple of weeks, and we'll see where we're at and make sure we hit that 50 mark, just to make sure we don't have any issues on the YouTube platform.
So we need 50 people to,
Subscribe.
okay.
We have 2 so far.
I am one of those, so I've done my job.
Just got it.
Maybe we
Took me
have,
a whole meeting to find it.
Yes.
Seriously, find it.
we have 9 viewers currently.
Well-
Awesome. Linda's the one. that
In
told me.
55 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the @ sign is what did it, but I wasn't using the @ sign at first and I couldn't find it, but that's how I ended up getting it. So let's make sure we are really pushing that on the Facebook page and the website maybe, and that'll help too.
I think I can post it in the Selma Scoop and we'll get 50 subscribers real quick.
Okay. Okay. I talked about the appropriation. Jensen sent me over some proposed options on some ordinances. I went through all of them, and then I had just a couple of things I wanted to double check, but I will have a draft back to you guys for, potentially for rental properties, AI, artificial intelligence, regulating vacant, dilapidated, or underutilized properties to the extent that we can, renewable energy systems, drones. So I looked at all those and threw some comments in there, and then I'll get some clean drafts over. And then there are a few things I'm going to have our law clerk take a look at just to make sure we can regulate, that we're allowed to, before we try to put them in place. This is the request for proposal. I'll go ahead and get that out. I think we've kind of hit my other ones as we've gone along. Was there anything else that I?
The BZA rules of procedure. Do you have a
Yes,
chance
and
to
I
look at those?
did look over those last night. I think those are all fine.
Okay.
I don't think I took any notes on things that we needed to change, so we should be good. Oh, I took the maps, the drawings for everyone else's information to Ashton Land Survey for Nutrient Ag, so it's in their hands now to finish out their part of it to get with the county. I can talk to you in more detail about annexation and some of your questions about that. I don't know if it's necessary, it's not anything that we need to take board action on today, so we can kind of go over some of the things I looked at on that question after this.
Okay.
Okay, I think that covers.
Okay. Thank you.
most of my- Yep.
Randy, do you got anything for us? You gotta watch yourself on the camera?
Yeah. Just so you know, it's about a 25-second delay. Did you realize?
Too bad we don't have scrubbing.
Yeah.
I seen you put comments on there, you sure you wanna do something like that?
He was supposed to turn them off, but
Yeah, well, we can do that in future meetings, I guess.
No, we just wanna put comments there.
no.
What? Moving on, we're just trying to,
No.
gosh. Fran,
Yeah.
so after all that, I really don't have anything unless you guys have something for me.
I have something for you.
Oh, is it bad?
No, it's a donation to the fire department. Would you please let this person know you received it?
Okay,
Thank you,
I will do that.
thank you.
I don't have anything unless you guys have something.
All right, thanks, Randy.
Well,
Yeah, you have something to bring up, don't you?
I do?
Yeah, about the driveway.
Did you look at it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
So, well, I guess I really don't know a lot about it, so do you think we need to reseal it at some point? So we repaved a section of it 2 years ago, and kind of what we're talking about is resealing definitely that section because of the trucks coming in and out. We don't want it to get to where it crushes and stuff like that again. But on the reverse side of it, the whole parking lot almost looks like it needs resealed at some point. We hate doing it because it's such an ordeal, but that's not my expertise, so I don't know exactly if it needs it or if we need to have somebody come look at it and then bring it back up next month, or how you guys want to do it.
You know, I've said this before, but I know it's expensive. But, you know, it's the only way I think that it'll survive is to bring it from both bays or all three bays. Take concrete all the way to the edge of the driveway. And then just leave that other part asphalt. Yeah, I mean, you will still build it, but that's what needs to happen, because when you're coming up there on that, then you're rubbing them tires, you're turning them tires. And it's
I was more worried about holding down what we got for the time being. I was more worried about that than I was anything else.
You have no idea what it's gonna cost to dig that up and put down 6 inches of concrete
yeah.
out there.
Plus
Oh, I know,
parking
it'd be,
lots. Parking lots
it'd be
are not
extremely
insured
high.
Yeah.
Unless they
Should have
change
done a
it.
long time ago. didn't
And,
it?
well, it should've been, well, but there's a lot of things that should have been covered.
Yeah, should have been.
But what you're talking about is, let's put some sealer on it and go with it. It's worked for
Oh,
35
yeah.
years.
Yeah, well, I'm just worried about that section because it does
Yeah.
take a lot of the heat.
Well, that's the
And
big
we
guys.
put quite a bit of money into repairing that, and I'd hate to see it go to waste.
It needs, resealing don't hurt anything.
Yeah, I just don't know how
It never
expensive it
does.
is.
You wanna wait till, we gotta do this one out here too. The town parking lot.
Yeah.
You wanna do it, I would recommend after chili supper.
Add it to your additional appropriation, what you're taking it from, because
Because
it
you're
comes
looking
from
at
general.
sealing and then restriping everything. I mean, it's not like it's okay, we seal it, and then it's a done deal. You gotta turn around and wait, 20 days, and then paint it again, and
Okay.
it's a process.
It's gonna have to be a certain temperature before, would not.
If it's
cover it.
real hot, you gotta
You'll be
stay
all
on for
right.
longer.
You just don't wanna be doing it right. I mean, personally,
Yeah.
I mean, they could, but if they get back out there on it, even if we left it a week, it's still gonna tear it up.
Problem is, Randy's trucks have to sit outside.
Yeah.
Do that or around behind the building, and you cannot take a chance on them freezing.
Yeah.
They cannot. Yeah, I mean, in October.
Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. We've got lucky every time we've done it.
Yeah.
I got it.
That's why I'm saying we should do it before that.
Brace, could you
It's a,
get some quotes on resealing? And then we have the money to do it, so we'll look at doing that now,
Yep.
later in the year.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
you're going to station in this lot, right? You're going to station in this lot.
We're gonna get that handicap done right, cause
Okay.
while we're there, this has never been sealed. And this thing's been paved about 6 years or so.
So moving on to building commissioner, Bruce, do you have anything for
Yeah.
Joel?
Of course, Joel's on vacation. He's in Myrtle Beach. He's had some people, he called on the property down there on Albany Street where they own that and they've never sold that property. Their grass was way high. So I got hold of Ace to get his number, so he's got it. We can usually call him and then take care of it. Number one, they had a rough-in plumbing and electrical inspection at Dollar General. Number two, he had a building permit issued to Miramar Builders for one of the barndominiums. It gave a certificate of occupancy for 207 North Pitcher. And he did building permit and electrical permit for outdoor kitchen for Octavio Hernandez. And then the right-of-way permit for water line to be ran at 207 North Pitcher from Jackson Street. Well was supposed to be drilled at the Dollar General last week. This week, the coolers and shelving should be installed at the Dollar General. The HVAC should have been finished last week at the Dollar General as well. Inspected footer on Muncie Street across from the Ball Diamonds. Hopefully that foundation will be set real soon and dirt pushed back up against the foundation. And that was Joe. And I also told him about the Tommy Williamson's house, that one that they've been working on. I said he needs to mow that up or around there, and then he needs to put some kind of fencing, because there's gonna be kids that are gonna go in and they're gonna, and I mean, you can get underneath his house, something could happen. So the guy, he did put a fencing, like that snow fence, up around it. So, anybody got any questions, I might be able to answer.
What did Octavia get?
He said an outdoor kitchen.
Yeah,
Electrical and plumbing for an outdoor kitchen.
Okay.
yeah. Got an electrical permit and for an outdoor kitchen.
Okay.
Well, supposedly the county's supposed to come and look at his property for the drainage too.
Oh, and me and his favorite, so we were around.
Okay.
Okay.
He got his horses in there this week.
Oh, is that the one down there by Marla's?
Yes.
Right beside your land, okay.
Huh?
What?
Wasn't there a question about him having horses?
No, it's already passed.
We never approved him
No.
getting horses.
No,
Yeah.
Like I said, in the town ordinance, no hoofed animals.
because we were waiting for the BZA.
Yeah.
Well, take Dave down there when you go down there and check the animals.
Yeah, we need to send
There's
him
a
a
lot
letter.
more than 4 chickens
Okay.
and 2 horses. Pretty sure there's 3 or 4 goats.
Yeah, we need to look into that.
I was gonna say, I don't think we had approved that.
I thought the horse thing passed.
Oh, no.
They're beautiful, beautiful horses.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll look into that. Cody, Travis, why do you want to step up to the podium?
Dell was able to get us a bid from Jones Inclusive for $8,100 on that concrete slab back there. About $500 cheaper than the last guy. Haven't been able to get anybody else. Dump truck should be done tomorrow back here. And has anybody been down where the Dollar General is? It's in the road. Their trucks have tore it to pieces.
Well, they're supposed to be redoing that drive.
Okay, they paved a little bit of it,
Okay.
but they have not done anything else with it.
Actually, that's
So-
state right away there, but
down there on 32?
Yeah, right there.
Who did that?
They did.
Dollar General?
Yeah.
That is all I've got. Unless you guys got anything?
Concrete slab for the salt.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions for Travis or Cody?
We already talked about it.
Um,
Whichever one of you. About that next door.
We'll see about that.
Hey, yeah.
Tractor's not running.
Dale, do you want to
You
go
can
and
use
talk about
mine.
it, please?
Yeah, Dave couldn't be here because he had an emergency, but one of the vehicles in front of Mike Barrett's has been removed. They're working on the boat to get that removed. He's tagged a couple properties on Railroad Street. One of the ladies was there this weekend working on them, but the other was untouched. He's going to send another letter and notice to them. And there's a couple other properties that probably need to be addressed as well, but he's working on that.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question. That was for Dave, I was saving it for Dave, but I didn't know he was gonna be here. On our fireworks ordinance, is there a time they're supposed to stop?
It's 2 hours after sunset.
Okay. And now, who would be enforcing that?
It'd be the police.
Okay.
Bringing that up.
I knew, I was afraid to, baby, but
That's
I had two complaints over that 130 deal the other night down here.
I'm a firm believer in not bringing it up unless I'm asked, so.
Well, these people, they had violent complaints. It was their next door neighbors. It woke me up at 1:30 in the morning.
And where was this one?
Muncie and Williams,
I had
not
three-
Eddie and Pam,
three
not
text-
Swinks.
Yeah.
I had 3 text messages from neighbors the other night at 10:30, asking why they were being shot off. This was Sunday night. And I do have a question. Are there certain,
It's like 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after, right?
So you have 2 hours after sunset for June 29th, 30th, July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Then 10 a.m. to midnight on July 4th. 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. New Year's Eve.
So I can still set some off tonight.
Correct.
Yeah. And tomorrow night.
As long as it's within 2 hours after sunset.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's the current
So
ordinance.
10:30 is
So
an okay time.
Specific
Haven't
date.
told him it's
Yeah.
11:30 then.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is what is Dave? Dave just telling them to stop? I mean, I don't know,
I don't know what the repercussion is.
Do we have
You
that on our fee
guys,
schedule?
you have an ordinance.
I don't think he's gonna pay rent, I don't think he's gonna pay a fine, but.
So it's actually, the violations are, misdemeanors, depending on what they violated. So it's all in ordinance 2024-08. So it's the whole page, so I guess it would depend on which violation you're referencing, but if you wanna look at that ordinance, it's all listed on there.
Okay.
I just pulled the entire statute and put it in there because there were so many questions last year. I felt like it was easier to
And I couldn't
regurgitate
find
it.
Yeah, I didn't have that in my records,
Yeah.
so that's the reason I had that.
Well, if you need it, just let me
I will.
know and I can forward
It's
it.
also
Or
on the
you can have this
website.
copy. I've got it on my server.
Yeah, it's on the website.
And some of you guys' ordinance books are still in my office,
I'm sorry?
not
I
yours.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, since we are going to follow up, if they shoot the fireworks off after the date, should we maybe put a reminder on our town page so they can say, so they cannot say they weren't aware of it?
I don't see where it would hurt a thing.
Yeah, I think that would be okay.
It's not just you, there's several bad people.
Oh, I
that are
know it's not
complaining.
just me, but,
Yeah.
Cindy, it's not just you,
Yeah.
there's several.
oh, I know. Well, I'll complain anyway,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's just,
I understand,
I
no,
have older
the people
people
that
that live
called
around me.
me, they were probably just as
neighbors
upset
all
about their
wash their
pets being upset as I would have been over my kids being upset. They truly was, they were upset.
So I shouldn't ask for fireworks for the Christmas in Selma then? All the
Hey,
fireworks
you've
are-
got that in your ordinance, thank you very much.
Oh, I do?
You've got
Special events.
special events.
Sorry, sparklers.
I'll just have them call you then.
Make this sparkling.
Thank you.
I'll talk to Dave as well.
Okay.
Oh, I do
Can I
have
have a
a
copy
copy.
of that?
Now, and Dale probably can answer this. The people selling food out of their house, what is that?
Yeah, that's, or have them picking it up and all that, that's the way.
Yeah, well, and that's why I was gonna ask you, but, because I figured you probably knew more about that than anybody.
In the town limits?
Huh?
Are they in the town
Yes.
limits?
Yes.
They're right across the street from me,
What are they doing?
selling tamales, 2 to 4 on Sundays. I think it's tamales. Okay, some kind of Mexican stuff.
Quesadillas.
Across the street from
Say they good?
That was tough.
This is good.
Yeah.
What did you say? See,
Steve's mother-in-law,
I never heard of
Huh?
Steve's mother-in-law.
it.
It's Michael Dirk's house.
Oh, oh, that property.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, I don't
know.
No, is there
Somebody's
ordinances
house, but-
or is there, I mean, I don't know. Can
That's
anybody
like a
just do
restaurant.
that?
That's like a restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I just didn't know. I never seen nothing like that before. And, I ain't complaining, I just don't know.
Yeah. Well, we need to look into that, make sure they're not in violation of anything.
I think the health department
Well,
would
their health,
be,
yeah, the health
the issue.
department is gonna control and
and I know you can sell
Already
stuff
be
out of your
notified if you have an
house.
issue.
You just have to say this has been made in a home kitchen. But the
I
fact
think
of
they
can
did
you
say that.
sell it out of your house is a second issue.
Yeah, there's cottage balls and stuff like that.
She said that she made it there and they were just trying to raise some extra money.
Yep.
I mean, I seen.
They might be doing it
I
under the
seen,
cottage laws.
Whole thing on Selma Scoop or
Yep.
Selma, one of the Selma pages, but I just didn't know.
Okay. Okay, well, we can look into that. Last thing, because we already talked about the ball diamonds list. Alex, do you have anything to talk about with the ball diamonds?
No, league went well. We're thankful for that. League is over. Trying to think, we are having a fall league.
Yeah.
A regular fall league and then for travel teams to come into. They're supposed to be broken up this year. Last year, the AE was the only one that had a travel team that there was people that were upset about. So we are not fixing that. Everything else going well. We do need Cindy about the grading. I think Tyler talked to you about grading the fields.
Yeah.
So we have that. We are going to be putting in, after fall ball, some windows in the concession stands, sliding windows, framing in that area to, we're not gonna put heat in there, but if someone wanted to put a split unit in or something like that, possibly use that during colder weather. The bathrooms will be a different story, just because people in and out of there all the time. But that, and then everything else is going well.
Did, Mike, did you talk to them about using the bathrooms at Bluebird Days, or are we doing anything like that this year, or? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I said, made mention,
They're more than
he said it'd be open, then they were gonna, he didn't know if they were gonna close, at that time, the fall league, and now you're gonna have the fall league.
We are.
Okay. I just know you guys usually
Yeah.
coordinate something,
Yeah.
and I didn't remember hearing that.
I don't expect that to be an issue.
Okay.
I don't have any issues with it. Tyler and somebody else.
Well, and he's gonna have a wiffle ball tournament during that time period
Yeah,
too,
sure.
so it'll be.
Good point, thank you.
Yeah, they got her wiffle ball tournament anyway.
Alright. Thank you. Cheyenne, you're it, or Jennifer, I don't know who's.
I don't have anything that we haven't already discussed.
Okay.
I'm working on budget, so within reason, you guys have something you want me to try and add, let me know.
Okay.
So you want us to make a motion on this? What do you want to do?
Oh, yeah.
About the pad?
Um,
Is this for the salt?
yes. Yeah, sorry, I just completely skipped that.
Cindy caught it, I did not.
So, do we someone want to make a motion to move forward with this, proposal from Jones Inclusive LLC, for a concrete slab, back here next to our garage for, salt storage?
Do we know where that money's coming from?
I was gonna ask two questions on that. Now, can that come out of the highway? I would think it's for the roads.
I have a salt and sand line item, but it ain't got no $8,100 in it.
Okay, but still,
I
can
would-
it come out of the
okay.
streets?
I would think, I mean, it's for the streets.
Let me ask this, if we're gonna sell that truck, can we apply what we get from that towards this?
Yeah,
Kind
appropriate
of.
it.
It's not like that.
I know.
Because we've already appropriated the money, so.
So yes, we
Okay.
could,
We can move some
Eventually.
stuff around and pay for it.
but it would take a little while. We couldn't just approve it today and then pay it out next week.
But but if it can come out of local roads and streets, we have the
I
money.
would think so, but it's
Okay.
also, it's only budgeted for like 13,000 a year.
I'll make the motion. We get the pad.
Okay, motion by Brent,
I'll second it.
second by Cindy.
Put that in there, local roads and streets.
Motion by Brent, second by Cindy to approve the proposal, pulling the money out of local roads and streets.
That's where Jones.
We have enough in there
Jones,
for
yeah,
that.
it says on
she-
700 East.
He should be doing that for free.
Why? He's not in Selma.
All right, so hold on, do we,
Well, he's a Selma
all in
boy.
favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
any opposed?
Oh, I do know who that is now.
That's Mike's boy.
Do we have anything else to come before the board?
Yeah, I want to say something.
Uh-oh.
Can I sing a song? No.
What was that?
Hey, farmers. I wanted to thank everybody, the town board, and the people of Selma. It was a long, hard fight, but I'm somewhat, pretty much back to normal. There are some things. Now, don't be laughing.
You're never gonna be normal.
Yeah, I know. But I want to thank everybody for the prayers and everything, and the flowers and other stuff. And I love you all. I appreciate it.
We're glad you're back at it.
Yep,
Yeah,
we missed you.
I appreciate it.
Did you tell him about you going back to work?
Oh,
Did you tell him that you're going back to work?
Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, I told Thursday.
All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Brent,
Second.
second by Dale. All in favor?